Their pastor may be in custody, but the Sunday service still drawing a large crowd to Parkland County.
We are full.
For months, GraceLife Church has been in a standoff with public health authorities, ordered closed after repeated refusal to follow provincial mask mandates or keeping attendance below 15% of fire code capacity. Earlier this week, Pastor James Coates turned himself into the RCMP to appear before a judge, but he refused to agree to bail conditions that he not hold church service. He will remain in jail until his trial date of February 24th.
I did speak with Pastor James this morning on the phone. His voice was its usual self.
The associate pastor leading a sermon that some had to watch from YouTube or listen outside because they were full. Those stopping people before they enter the parking lot of GraceLife Church of Edmonton to tell them they can't go in because it's at fire code capacity. Well, they tell me this is the busiest the church has ever been.
The enforcement, on the one hand, may discourage others from doing the same thing, but on the other hand, may create sort of a martyr of this church and its leader.
RCMP were on scene, but once again did not take action before the service, simply saying their investigation is ongoing with Alberta Health Services. Health law expert Lorianne Hardcastle says likely RCMP are being extra cautious around charter rights of religion, gathering, and protest, while also avoiding confrontation.
That all of those charter rights are subject to reasonable limits. And so where the government is able to show that it has a pressing reason for this restrictions, like limiting the spread of COVID, and that it has tried to limit its intrusion on rights as much as possible.
Statements from the church and its lawyers have shared their disbelief that the coronavirus is as deadly as portrayed, without sharing credible evidence. There have been protests outside the Edmonton Remand Centre where Pastor Coates is held, calling for the Premier to take action.
Who have handed over the headship of the church to the province's premiers and unelected chief medical officers.
Premier Jason Kenney will not commenting on a case that is before the courts. In a Facebook post regarding religious freedom, praising the vast majority of religious institutions in Alberta for following health restrictions, and pointing to the Bible passage, "Blessed are those who have regard for the weak," saying, quote, "We all share a responsibility to protect the weak. In the context of this pandemic, that means limiting our interactions with other people to contain and reduce viral spread." GraceLife being full would mean it's over 6 times the current COVID-19 capacity limit that is being followed at other places of worship. In Parkland County, Carly Robinson, City News.